everyone. Happy Monday. I hope that you are coming off an amazing weekend and eagerly looking forward to Memorial Day weekend. Woo, woo, woo. The first weekend of summer. It's going to be an awesome time here in Alaska, and I hope it will be equally as awesome where you are. I'm super excited about this interview, and the reason why is this lady has been just like an amazing friend, an incredible mentor, really and truly helped me become I'm going to say a more powerful speaker. And the only reason why is she has really helped me tap into what is my true message? What is my authentic message? Like really to get grounded in what that is. And for those of you who know me well, especially those of you who are in my tribe, you know, when I learn something, man, you guys are getting it. Because I would never learn something that makes a radical impact in my life and not share it with all of you. So Chelsea Avery, welcome, welcome.
Oh, thank you, Dr. Barbara. You are the best. It's been so fun working with you and seeing you grow in all of these beautiful and powerful ways. Everyone already knows you're a powerhouse of a speaker, and it's been really fun to watch you harness your grounded voice and bring it into the world. So thank you. It's an honor to be here with you.
Thank you. Thank you. I appreciate that. And for those of you who are at New Beginnings and you saw that unbelievable bouquet of flowers, Chelsea sent that to me.
I can't take the credit for arranging it, although I wish I could, but it looked like an amazing event.
It was so beautiful. It was an amazing event. And she and I, so this is one of the things that's going to happen when you all join us November 4th through the 6th in Nashville for the Ultimate Marketing Bootcamp. So in years past, I have done an Ultimate Marketing Bootcamp in November. Actually, one of the times in 2018, I started it, and then we had the earthquake. So that was an interesting interruption. And in my past, like the marketing boot camps I've done have been all about like, let me give you some strategies. Let's get your marketing calendar set up. Here's the deal. We all have that. Mm-hmm. And I'm here to ask all of you to look at is the reason that your schedule isn't overflowing with your ideal new practice member, with your ideal practice member, why your bank account isn't bursting open, why you're feeling drained, or even that feeling of, I know I'm capable of more. Do you really think it's because you don't have the latest marketing technique or strategy? Like, do we really all have to get more? I don't think so. Like, here's what I pledge to you. If you don't want to experience a transformation in those areas of your life, just look for another strategy. If all you want to do is just like keep running on the treadmill to get the new one, have to learn another one, figure out what to do with it, then like keep searching. But if instead you want a different way to live, instead, if you're really looking for the magic carpet ride instead of the hamster wheel, if you're really and truly seek in your life our true nature, which is love, ease, and abundance, like there's nothing that you have to do to be abundant. It's already yours. Mm-hmm. And if that's what you're after this year, if that's what you want 2021 to look like, then the Ultimate Marketing Bootcamp is for you. And we have created this to be something, I promise you, none of you have ever experienced. Like even Chelsea, I'm going to have her tell you her story. They have done public speaking on every continent. Mm-hmm. And when we came up with this idea, we both got goosebumps because like, we're like, even though we've been on like huge stages, we've never seen this offered to anyone. So Chelsea, take it from here.
Oh my gosh, what I absolutely love about this unique conference. And again, like Dr. Barbara and I were like, what can we do what would we want to see and what would we want to experience? And this is what we put together. So like she said, I've spoken on all 7 continents. I'm an international keynote speaker, workshop facilitator. And one of the things that I constantly have struggled with is finding awesome photographers and videographers to capture my message. So sometimes we will hire people to come in, which is super expensive. And you also have no control over the stage, the sound, the lighting, all of that. You're at the mercy of whatever event you're at. So with this, we're being strategic and intentional about exactly the type of room setup we have. We are working with the videographer and photographer and training them on the type of videos and photographs that display beautifully on websites that put you in the light of, oh, I'm an elevated speaker. These are things you cannot do on your own, or they're extremely costly and really hard to get to. So that's one thing that I'm like super lit up about this is we are involved in every process of this event to make you shine. Literally you shine, because when you are in the environment where you're well lit, hiring professional makeup artists, having a beautiful stage with an engaged audience, which is going to be you and me, everything is possible. You are able to show up in your full power. And that's exactly what we're doing this year in Nashville. And I'm so excited. I literally have goosebumps right now because it's going to be amazing and unlike anything you've seen before.
And even as speakers, and Chelsea and I have both been doing this for a long time, I've never seen an event that says, hey, let me set this up to be perfect for you. Like totally. never. And you know, like what Chelsea was just talking about, like, let's talk about the situation that happened recently that you were aware of, where the room wasn't set up quite right, where there was a lot of distraction, where it was like you either had to turn your back on somebody in order to address the back of the room. Like, let's just like go there for a second, because the reason I'm bringing this up for all of you, like I've been on chiropractic stages for 22 years. And despite that fact, I still have had to work really hard getting professional images, getting video and all of that. And most of the time, let's face it, most chiropractic events, you're just on carpet. So go ahead.
Yeah. So one of the things that I've experienced too within speaking is if you don't have a trained eye to figure out exactly what you need, or know the questions to ask of your meeting planner, or request the room to be set up, or request 10% of the chairs to be taken away, or know where to stand on the stage, if you don't know all of these things, you're walking in and assuming and hoping that the event will meet all of your needs. And typically that's not the case. And unless you are a speaker who's been in the game for a long time, you're just going to continuously learn this by default and the hard way. So there have been times at events, especially when I was just starting out, that people will be hanging out in the back of the room. People will be coming in and out. Maybe you have the whole first 4 rows completely empty because people are weird and sit in the back. And so there are ways and strategies to deal with that on outside events. But for this event that we're doing in Nashville, we are in control of all of that. And when those things are not even a distraction or are not taking up space in your mind, that allows you, again, to come from this really grounded space. And that's something that we're going to be spending time on before we even get to Nashville, to help you figure out how to tell your true, authentic story and not an egotistical story. And Dr. Barb and I were just talking about this. By default, a lot of the time, we are speaking in an egotistical way when we're delivering our stories. And that is not the way that resounds with your audience. That is not what gets people to take action. So we're actually going to be doing some distinctions and some practices around how to get in that grounded voice so that you can show up and speak with authority, but also grace and exactly who you are. And we're doing this in a controlled setting, which sets you up for success.
I love that. I'm typing a message while you're speaking because you and I just talked about it. So I spoke this weekend at New Beginnings, and then today is my review with Chelsea. So we went through like what worked well, what didn't work well, what do we want to improve, and not from a standpoint of let me just beat myself up, but I have to do like what's on offer is for me to do better.
Yeah.
But if I didn't have somebody to like to go through that with, I'm just going to keep repeating it. Like all of you think about your journey as a chiropractor. When we were in adjusting classes, if we didn't have somebody to give us feedback, or even our practice members on a day-to-day basis, we're just going to keep doing the same thing. And we all know, what is that? Insanity. And then we wonder why nothing really changes. Well, because you haven't. Your come from is probably even at a lower vibrational energy because ego is taking over. Chelsea brought up like one of the cool things that we're doing at the Ultimate Marketing Bootcamp. Like, how many times do we get up in our thinking because we're afraid of our audience? Like, what if somebody isn't paying attention? And it is distracting to have somebody like this while you're talking. Like, that's just the truth, right?
Yeah.
So your entire audience, Ultimate Marketing Bootcamp, they're cheering you on.
Totally.
Your entire audience is fully engaged. Your entire audience, because that's the environment we're setting up so that you can have great rehearsal, but also so we capture these professional images of video and camera. It is like just like palpating of you in your true essence.
And there's such a distinction too between having images that someone's catching on a phone or even recording you. And it's cool to have those. And those are really helpful. And I will take those and I will dissect them. And those are great. But those are not things that you would necessarily want to present on your website to your people. And so that's the level up here. This isn't for people who are like, oh, I'm kind of like toying around with getting into it. The people that we want here to be with us are people who are ready to level up, who are really ready to be like, I want those images. I want that video. I want real-time feedback. That's the thing too. Like, what I love in working with Barb after she's done these events is that she's so willing and open and like fresh with the juices to be like, here's what happened. Here's what I felt. Here's what I want more of. Here's what I want less of. And that's what we're going to be doing in Nashville is we'll be giving you that real-time feedback, which you cannot get anywhere else, while also being on stage, experiencing what it's like to be on a badass stage. It's going to be so fun.
It's going to be incredible. You know, when I was just in New Jersey and went out to dinner with some boot campers and non-boot campers, like boot camp supporters, I was telling them about this event. And one of the things that everyone really loved was we are setting up scenarios for professional photos of you, like doing all of you, if you're in the boot camp or if you don't live under a rock, you know that strategic partnerships are really important, right? That those connections with your strategic partners and being able to be an influencer, to be considered like the expert. And so we're going to be creating in the weekend a picture of you like engaging like you're at a networking event. Why? Because it's important. We're engaging as if like you're leading a mastermind. Why? Because if you're wanting to do that in your practice, it's going to be way easier to promote that with your strategic partners and within your community if you have images for people to look at. And I'm not just talking about the random photo that someone takes on their phone. I'm talking where everything is considered, because it does matter. If you want to set yourself apart, all of these things matter. If you're somebody who, let's say, you know, a lot of you I know are doing your side hustle, right? Whether your side hustle is with weight loss or your side hustle is with, you know, maybe you're creating an online program. And I love that you want to get this online program done. I love it. Do you know how many other people are also creating their online program, even within chiropractic, right? So let's say you want to specialize in pediatrics. And so you want to create an online program for that. Fabulous. What distinguishes you? It's your content. Okay, beautiful. How do people know that? What if you're wanting to do a multidisciplinary practice, or you're wanting to specialize in a certain way? Well, I'm going to tell you, if you're in my tribe, you get exclusive opportunity to this event until June the 15th.
Take it and run. Because also, to your point, we're capping this. Like, this is a smaller event because we're going to be spending so much time on getting people's personal stories, getting your story down, as well as your unique selling proposition. And so we're not just going to be letting more people in as it comes, because we want to be focused on you and for people who are ready to level up. One more point I wanted to make in especially the photography and videography is I facilitate a ton of workshops, but there's an element that would make it weird, like a weird energy vibe, if during my workshops, which are typically around like postpartum depression, mental health, relationships, it would be weird for me to have a photographer come in. It would like disrupt the vibe. So what's cool here is that you're able to simulate that same thing without actually throwing off a vibe, whether it's mastermind or workshops or things like that. Stage is a little bit different, But that's what we're doing here is the opportunity to do that without having to hire extra people or disrupt energies or anything like that. We're designing it so that you can have that in this group.
I love that. And listen, maybe you're not even thinking that way yet. Any of you who have followed me for very long, you know, I keep expanding my brand and keep expanding my brand. And, you know, like when I look, like part of the direction that I look in is what will make this that much more unique? And also, if I had to do it again, what would make it easier? This would have made it easier. Like this would have made it so much easier. Like if you're going to do a workshop in your office and you have these unbelievable videos and these unbelievable photos of you, all of your marketing is going to be easier. Like your Instagram is going to look like a rock star compared to somebody else who just has pictures from this. So going back to those in the boot camp, look, after June the 15th, I am opening this up to anyone else. So if you're someone who's creating an online program for our profession or even outside of our profession, if like the winner is going to be the one that looks like the winner. It's just the way that it is. Like it's what is perceived out in the culture, in society. Mm-hmm. So if you're wanting to promote that brand, and I've shared with a lot of you, like I think you've been sold a really short story on the idea of, oh, as soon as you get it created, like you've all bought programs probably on creating the content. Right. Chelsea, you know as well as I do, like that's the easy stuff.
Mm-hmm. Totally.
That's the easy stuff. Creating the content, like your work is just beginning. That's like getting your chiropractic degree. Like, congratulations. Mm-hmm. Now what are you going to do to have people come in the office?
Totally. And what's so cool about this too, is once you get your story down, it's always your story. It's something that you will be able to use over and over and over again. And people don't buy from businesses. People buy from people. And so once you have that story down, that's unique to you and you can speak it from a grounded place, everything changes. That's why I love working with you, Dr. Barr, because you get this and you help me better understand, man, it's solely our thinking. So if we're thinking, oh, a big stage is scary, that's not what I'm cut out for, you're with the right woman to like shake that up for you, because that's not actually true. Everything is on offer for us once we figure this out and are able to drop into who we are. That's when people start listening. That's when people start taking action. That's when it gets really fun. And that's part of what we're doing here too.
And you know, like where we are right now, hopefully is not where any of us are going to be a year from now or 6 months from now, or even years. Like when I was telling about this event, Dr. Gilles LaMarche was at dinner with us and he was like, that's a really, like, I've never heard of anything like that. That's a really cool event. And he's like, you know, that's really interesting because my images of speaking are from back in the days of Parker, long time ago. And he created the event. So of course he's going to have like the best pictures of him with this like audience, right? Mm-hmm. Well, maybe you're watching this right now and you're like, you know, Barb, I don't really see myself as that now. Like where you are right now, at one point, you didn't see yourself as that. So he has images from 25, you know, however many years ago that he's still using. Well, what if you're wanting to do that in the future? Mm-hmm. You'll already be set. You'll already be ready to promote you in that brand. And like Chelsea said, your personal story is your personal story. Your unique selling point differentiates you.
Yep.
And when we come from that place of authenticity, that place of ease, and maybe you're thinking, oh, I've worked on my story before. Awesome. There's next level in bringing forth your story. Like I've worked on it before. And I got to tell you, it is getting clearer and clearer and clearer because I'm coming from that grounded place. And I if I could just shake all of you and help you see that, like, this is really and truly going to be transformational for you. I'm these first 5 months of 2021, I have created more impact in this world than ever before. And I have been financially rewarded for it. We're coming up at the end of May. And I will have generated the same income in these first 5 months that it's taken me years to generate. And maybe you're saying like,
Amazing.
oh, that's because you're raising your fees, Barb. True story. And you are invited to do the same.
Yep.
You're invited to do the same. And with that increase, it's also like, I got to tell you, I'm having more fun than I've ever had. I'm experiencing less stress than ever. Like, I'm excited, like so excited to show up and respond to what's showing up. So you can sit there and doubt it, or you could step in and try it out, because the magic carpet ride is so much better than the hamster wheel.
It totally is. And that's what we're all about, is figuring out how to get on that magic ride with you in the driver's seat, sharing your story, leveling up, taking your images and your brand and who you are to that next level, because you know what? We need it. We need it. We need to hear your story. We need to hear your impact. We want it. And so do the people in your community.
Yes.
This is your opportunity to really level up and play big. And play fun. Like, it doesn't have to be scary. It doesn't have to be stressful. And in fact, it's not, once you come onto the magic carpet ride and get off of that hamster wheel, as Dr. Barb talks about a lot.
So here's something I want to invite all of you to look at. So, I've been speaking for 22 years. I have yet to do the same talk twice on a stage. You know why? It's because I'm not that same person that I was 22 years ago. My message continually changes and continually changes and continually changes and continually changes. So yes, does that mean like I have new production to do? Yeah. But I got to say, this time, after working with Chelsea, there was less work to do because it's been ongoing. And because I knew the message that I wanted to convey. And the message I wanted to convey was all about my audience. And I'll confess, for years, I've come from my own ego.
And most people do. Like, that's just sort of like how we're socialized, what we think needs to happen. Like, you are so not alone in that. That's typically the default of like, here's how we do it.
And coming from that, your lens regarding your audience is going to be completely different. The outcome from your engagement will be completely different. Absolutely. And so I ask that you come along and trust me. Grab your ticket, grab your seat, just step in, because there's so much, like, abundance is your nature. Abundance is my nature.
Yeah.
And if we're not living in abundance in all areas of our life, I promise you are not living in your nature. And this is the next opportunity in order to really step into that. So Chelsea, as we close this up, here's what I'd like you to address our audience with.
All right.
As a non-chiropractor, and now as somebody who, like, when Chelsea and I started working together, she was shocked that chiropractic speakers aren't paid.
I really was. I was like, dang it, that's some messed up stuff.
Not only not paid, but pay their own way to the stage. Right?
That's not how it works for most industries and professions. Like, that's not how it works typically.
Are you hearing that, everyone?
You should. Okay, here's a little piece of my story. So I coached my husband to become the youngest world champion of public speaking in history. That was in.
Say that all over again.
Okay, I coached my husband to become the youngest world champion of public speaking in history. Like, I know it sounds fake, but it's real. He beat out 30,000 people from 116 countries, and we literally dedicated our lives to this. So at first, we were both working in nonprofit worlds, and we were like, okay, man, people want to bring us out, fly us places to hear our story, hear our journey. Cool. They're even going to cover our plane ticket, and they're going to cover our hotel room. Amazing. And for many months, we were like, this is so fun. We even made a CD that we sold from the back of the room. And then we were like, wait a minute. We can get paid to speak on top of our flight and hotel and food being covered. And that is what professional speakers do. You actually get paid to go out and deliver your message. And that's our business. That's what we do full time. I'm also a coach, but that's what we do. We speak. My husband's a full-time keynote speaker. And we went from also being like, cool, they're going to pay for our flight. And it sounds like that would even be amazing within the chiropractic world. But no, you can actually level up and make a real income, whether it's a side hustle, maybe it's a couple $100. It can be tens of thousands of dollars once you get really well at your message and understand the speaking world. And in order to do that, your brand, your website, your messaging all has to be in line in a certain way. And that's what we're going to teach you how to do that, how to level up. Cannot wait to hang out with you all in Nashville. Sign up now, because I also I hear a lot about the boot campers. And it's cool that she's going to open it up to other people, but like the boot camp people seem like the extra fun people. So I'm like, if I'm going to be hanging out in Nashville, I want it to be with some boot campers. Like, let's hit it and have fun together. Sign up now, because then she's opening it up.
So I love that. So did you guys hear that? Like, Chelsea coached her husband, which, let's face it, like the most difficult person to coach is usually the person you're sleeping with, right?
Yeah.
The youngest world champion of public speaking. The youngest world champion of public speaking. And no one came around and tapped Ryan on the shoulder and said, hey, here's this journey for you.
Nope.
He stepped into it and kept pursuing it. Why not you? Why not you? Like, how many times, chiropractor, have you said to yourself, I just want to get my message out there. I just wish people knew what I know. This is it. This is how you do that effectively.
Yep. And there's no one way to do it, right? So like our story, his story is like, he won this thing. It opened up doors. 99% of professional speakers do not win a world championship and do that. That's not even something that's really part of his story anymore, because his story, his speech that we crafted is super theatrical and does not resonate with corporate America. So therefore, it's not even really a part of our story. There are so many ways to go about becoming a paid professional speaker that I will tell you all about once you sign up.
And I want to just like pause this for a second, because many times I'll hear from all of you like, well, it's easy for you, Barb. Like, you just have one of those personalities. So let's talk about that. Like, do you have one of those personalities, Chelsea?
I don't actually. I am much more reserved, much more introverted. When my husband and I do keynotes or workshops together, he is always like, once he gets done, he's ready to go. He's like, I can't wait to go out with the people. And I'm like, I can't wait to go to sleep and recharge in that way. So there are so many different types of speakers. The ones that sometimes get more notary is, oh my gosh, rah, 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 get out there, boom, like highly energetic. And that's Barb, and that's her. And I'm also me, and you're also you. So part of this is figuring out who you are at your core of a speaker and raising that up.
Yeah.
Honoring that, figuring out how to get your energy to flow so that your message can still be heard without completely knocking you out, or without you being like, okay, I guess I got to just like put on a happy face and dance around the stage. That's not me. I'm not that type of speaker. And my audience would know immediately if I was trying to become that type of speaker. The same if Barb got on stage and was like, okay, I'm like a little more conversational, I don't have a ton of energy. If she tried to tone down her energy, that also wouldn't work for her. Yeah. Right? So we're all about figuring out and helping you discover this is the type of speaker. And when I say speaker, I mean on stage, in a workshop, running small groups, mastermind, even doing social media videos. That's all you're speaking. Anytime you're using your voice in front of another person, you are a speaker.
Yes.
How can you come from that deep, grounded voice that allows you to show up exactly as you are?
Yes. Yes, yes, yes. I love it. So I will make sure I put the link in the comment section so you can grab your ticket. Like I said, June 15th. After that, this opens up to everyone. If you're somebody who's not in my boot camp and you're like, Barb, as soon as that opens up, I want the first ticket, shoot me an email. I'll put you at the top of the list. And if there are tickets available, like literally 40 is the maximum. I think we have 25 tickets left. We've been promoting this for, I think, a week and a half. When they're gone, they're gone. We're not adding in more because of the nature of the intensity, the Like you're getting like lots of feedback all along. And so we know based on what we're doing, it's 40 maximum. So if you miss out, you miss out. Oh, you'll catch it next year. I don't know. We haven't talked about doing it again.
No, because we're living in the present, and the present right now, this is what's on offer.
Yeah. We may not do it again.
Yep.
So make sure you don't miss out. Grab your ticket. Chelsea, I love you. I appreciate you. This has been
so fun.
Magical journey every single week getting together with you. Thank you.
Thank you for showing up and bringing your magic to the world. It's inspiring and incredible to bear witness to and be in presence with. So, man, Nashville's going to be great.
It is going to be great. Thanks to all of you. Have a wonderful day. God bless you. And we will see you in Nashville.